Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to take a little bit of a look at a bunch of very important One Piece TCG news. A bunch of stuff's happened, and I don't really want to cover it all in one video, but you need to know all of this, so what am I going to do? Let's cover it all in one video, and let's start off with a new starter deck. And as you see the image of this starter deck on the screen, something should look very, very different. This is a yellow starter deck. Now, the reason that is incredibly important, yellow doesn't exist in the One Piece card game right now. As it stands, we've had 6 starter decks, and we've had OPO1 and OPO2, the first 2 expansions, and yellow doesn't exist. This is the debut of yellow in the One Piece TCG. In the same way that we saw black come in Starter Deck 6 for the first time, having never seen it before, now we have yellow. Honestly, this is super exciting, but the really disappointing thing is, we know like nothing. We have like no relevant information about this at all. We've got the image on screen, and if you know that character, you know, and if you don't, you don't. We have a release date of the 21st of January. We know it is going to be costing 990 yen. That is the standard price for a One Piece starter deck. Remember, we did see Starter Deck 5, the film starter deck, actually launched at 500 yen, but that was very much a, hey, you've seen the film, come and try the card game kind of thing. That was your classic introductory offer where they launched a starter deck really cheaply to try and grab people who wouldn't buy it because 500 yen is absurdly cheap. So yeah, it's like $4 or something like that. It's very, 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 very cheap. So the point is, this is coming on January the 21st, and it is introducing a new color, that being yellow. And that's like all we know. Oh, it's called Big Mum Pirates, as you may have guessed from the front. And it's the usual kind of stuff. There are 51 cards, plus 10 Don cards. That's your leader, 50 card deck, 10 Don cards, like every starter deck we've seen. And there's 1 leader, 14 common, and 2 super rare. Remember, in every starter deck, there are 2 cards that are designated to be super rare cards, and they get the foiling and all of that, and they look rather lovely. So, if we were to look at that black starter deck as an example, the one that, you know, started off all the black cards in the TCG, we can saw that we have Monkey the Garp and Smoker, who were your designated super rares, had the foiling and all that good stuff. I wish I could give you more information about this. I really do. I can't. Sorry. The only other relevant thing I can show you, if you have a look at Smoker here, you'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner, and we've had this since the game first came out, there are 6, well, it's basically like pizza pieces, pie pieces, call it what you will, like you would see in Trivial Pursuit, that denote the different colors available. So yellow is the last one. You can see that black is taking up the penultimate slot there, and then kind of just to the left at the top, like top left if you will, that is going to be yellow, and then that's going to be it. I'm not saying they'll never introduce a 7th color. We don't know if they'll introduce a 7th color. They might just rejig the wheel. But as it stands at the moment, yellow is the last color they're going to be introducing. Do not expect a 7th color. Now, this is a fairly small piece of news, but it honestly makes me really happy. It has now been confirmed that there is going to be an alternate art Don in the second set. And firstly, this is kind of cool, because you're going to have 10 Don cards in your Don deck, right? And I love the idea that there's going to be basically these different kinds of arts, and you can collect them all and have one in each of your deck, etc. Remember the pull rate for the alternate art Don in OPO1 in Romance Dawn? The pull rate was a lot higher than your average alternate art. I don't think there was one in every box, but there was one in a lot of boxes. So that was cool, and that was lovely, and then certainly I did an opening on this channel, and I got one in my box, and, well, that was fun. I enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. That made me very happy indeed. Well, what we should be expecting here is essentially that we get one going forward in every set. That seems to be, and this is one of the things I've legitimately been waiting for. Waiting to see if there was an alternate art Don, because that was a big deal. Because if we got an alternate art Don in set 2, that basically tells us there's going to be one in every set moving forward. And if we didn't get one in set 2, then that basically told us that the alternate art Don was a fun little one-off for the first set, but nothing more than that. This is kind of cool. It features Shanks. He's holding a hat. I'm trying to translate the Japanese. I think it says something like "this battle has come to an end" or something along those lines. The actual text on the manga panel there. That don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure the first bubble in the top right there says "this battle." And then you've got kind of finish, and then you've got has come or something like that in the second bubble. Something along those lines. I'm probably way off. But look, I'm trying all right. I am trying. One thing which is going to make a lot of you probably a bit more excited at this stage is the fact that we've got Manga Ace. And this is a big deal. Because, of course, these manga cards are a very big deal. We saw, and again, very much like we just saw with the Don, this is another thing that I've been waiting for to see from set 2. Because when you've only got set 1, it's a little bit like, is this what they're always going to do, or is this an anomaly? Is this like a one-off? We don't know. But we saw Manga Shanks in OPO1, we've now seen Manga Ace in OPO2, and that tells us pretty clearly that this is a thing going forward, that they are going to be doing one manga rare, as people tend to call them, in every set. It is interesting to note that Shanks in Romance Dawn was actually a secret rare that then got the manga treatment, whereas Ace here is a super rare, which has got the manga treatment. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's just kind of an interesting little side note that is, it's a super rare rather than a secret rare. It's kind of cool. I like this. This makes me rather happy. Of course, we do have a translation from the lovely folks over at onepiece-cardgame.dev. We've got a 7 cost, 7,000 power, and on play, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power for the turn. And then if your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in its type, this character gains Rush during this turn. So, yeah, got Rush, hurts your opponent's characters. Could be kind of fun. But this isn't, when we look at the manga version of this card here, we're not basically looking at, hey, you know what? This is going to be a great... No, it doesn't. No one cares about how good the card is. This is from a pure collectible standpoint, and certainly we've seen that Manga Shanks is the card. Like, literally the card in the One Piece TCG as it stands at the moment, and this will be the card for set 2. And somewhere out there, somebody is actually going to get a collection of all of these manga rares. And in a few years' time, it is going to be just wonderful. It's probably not going to be me unless I get absurdly lucky. But this is going to be a very, very cool collection for anyone that's there. If anyone's interested, that Manga Shanks, the last sold I can see over on Mercari. It's a marketplace that is used for Japanese TCGs a lot. The last sold listing I can find on there is 190,000 yen. Remember, Romance Dawn is still borderline impossible to get hold of for a reasonable price over in Japan. So that is absolutely going to push the price of this right up. And it's going to, until this set is just out there, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and bring this down. But that is $1,300. The Shanks is a $1,300 card. Manga Ace is going to be along the same kind of lines. You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. You have been warned. Like I say, if you can ever get to a stage where you've got a collection of all of these, it's going to be amazing. And I do think, just like I said with the alternate art Don, I do firmly believe, now that we've seen the manga rare in 2 sets out of the first 2, I think we can now say this isn't an aberration. This is just the way Bandai are dealing with it. And I, for one, ladies and gentlemen, am all here for it. This is awesome. And the last thing I want to mention today, as I'm recording this, although I don't think it's going up today, I'm afraid, but as I'm recording this, the new issue of Psycho Jump has just come out in Japan. I missed the drop to try and get it sent to the UK for a very cheap price, which is sad, but I have got this going to my proxy address over in Japan, so it's not the end of the world. Why am I telling you about the new issue of Psycho Jump? Because this is the issue where you can get the Frankie promo. As a side note, one of the reasons I'm showing this to you now is because we now finally have the cover of the magazine, so that means you know what you're looking for. Unfortunately, this seems to be a bit of a running theme, in the same way that trying to get hold of One Piece TCG starter decks and booster boxes in Japan is becoming extremely difficult. We're seeing the same kind of thing with magazines that have the promo cards on the front. Unfortunately, this Psycho Jump sold out. And Psycho Jump usually sells out moderately quickly, but this time it sold out absurdly quickly. So it's still out there, but, you know, you're currently paying kind of double retail if you can find it for sale in Japan. So it's not terrible, but, you know, just to mention that it is out there. And actually, while we're here, I should probably show you. Now, this one came out a couple of weeks ago. And again, you're paying at least double retail at the moment. But if you're looking for the Smoker promo, this is the cover of V-Jump magazine that you should be looking for. This is a V-Jump that comes with the Smoker promo. So yay, they're kind of what you're looking for if you're trying to hunt down these magazines. The promos will be available on eBay. They won't be too cheap, I'm afraid, but you will be able to get them. It won't be the end of the world. In terms of this Frankie and what it actually does, Frankie Shogun, to give the card its full name. It's a 2-cost, 4,000 power. This card's name is also treated as Frankie. And on your opponent's turn, all characters with a printed power of 3,000 or less gain 1,000 power. All of your characters. So when you've got those very small characters, blockers, things of that nature, this will beef them all up. And it doesn't say it doesn't stack, which means it should stack. So basically this means that you can be basically beefing up all your characters quite spectacularly. I like this, ladies and gentlemen. I like this quite a lot. Although, do bear in mind, because Frankie Shogun's only got 4,000 power, that is still more than 3,000. So, unfortunately, it won't buff up itself. And if you get too many Frankie down, then you're not going to have enough space to play other characters to actually buff up. So, I'm sorry, you have to figure that one out yourself. For now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you need to know about. And this is good news. We've got a new starter deck of a new colour. We've got an alternate art Don. It seems like that's happening in every set now. We've got a Manga Ace, and that does seem like it's happening in every set now. And we've got that new Frankie, which is now out. This is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I am happy. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me which of these things you're going after. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus pods, join a Discord and chat with us, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.